Hello PIM people and welcome. I'm Rasmus and this video is about how to create attributes in Struct PIM. So the attributes is the fundamental objects in Struct PIM. So this you need to create these attributes before you can start creating a data model in here. So let's dig into how to do that. So when you have your Struct PIM environment in front of you, you will go to product model setup. There is an area called attributes. And as you can see in this demo environment, we have a ton of attributes created already, but we will try to create one from scratch so you'll see how to fill in all the fields. Click create new attribute. So the first one is the alias. This is the name, alias name, your unique name in the system behind the scene actually. So this is what a programmer will or could potentially refer to after you have created it. In this demo, we will create a SKU number, for example. So I just call them demo, so it'll be easy to find. Demo SKU number. Then you will find this scope, and this confuses a lot in the beginning. Scope and attribute groups. There are no asterisks next to it, so you don't have to fill it out. But I'll quickly learn how to find information about fields that you don't know how to fill out. So if you go to, for example, if you go to Struct PIM's homepage and scroll all the way down, you will find documentation here. And under documentation, you have documentation again. There are also tutorials and changelog you can go into, but this time we want to focus on documentation and the fundamental concepts. You can expand this one, and now we are looking at attributes. So in here, if you can see the different data types, we'll go through them just in a while during the video, but down here you can see an explanation of what attribute groups and attribute scopes can be used for, because you can use them for multiple purposes. But what I have often seen, the groups has been used to make a collection of attributes that you later on dynamically can attach to a product based on what category that product is in the system. So saying you have a food product in there, you might have an attribute group of nutrition, for example. You need to register on all products. But you might also have a lot of other products in your system that is not food related. So you want that group of attributes to be dynamically visible on a product if that product goes into a specific category. So you can attach this group of attributes to a category, and as soon as a product goes into that category, suddenly these extra attributes show up. This is often what I have seen it used for. Be aware that you can only attach 0, nothing, or 1 to the attribute group. What I have more often seen used is the scope. So the scope, an attribute can be a member of multiple scopes. This is pretty nice, but you could have if you're selling some kind of a technical product, you could have some technical specification about this product. And all these different attributes that is related to technical specification can go into an attribute scope called technical specification, or whatever you would prefer to call it. And then when you transfer this information to your web page, either your own web page or a already existing web page from the market, as Shopify, whatever, and then you can just define that all these properties that are in this scope, I want them to be visible on the technical list of specification on that web page. I bet you're familiar with, you go into a web page, you can click technical specification on whatever product, and then there's a ton of attributes that is suddenly shown up. If you want that list on your web page to somehow be dynamic in the future, then you can on the web page point to this attribute scopes, and then all the attributes you create in PIM will automatically be shown and be distributed and populated on the web page. All sorts of, they're also mentioning here, if you're doing programming into this system, you can just list that all the attributes in that specific scope, and then you ensure it's kind of dynamic into the future, so nothing is hard coded. But again, we go back to the attribute list here. You don't have to fill them out. So for the demo purpose here, while we're just going pretty basic, we will not fill them out at the moment. Okay, then we are here. Here is a new asterisk, so we need to fill that one out. Back office name. So back office here meaning the PIM system while you sit working in it as we do right now. So meaning everybody working in the system will see this kind of name. So if you're internally in your environment, do not call it SKU number, but a product number or something like that. You could add a different name here. And then the display name is actually what you see outside of PIM. So if you transfer these information to channels outside your system. Typically, I just call them the same, but it can vary. So we're just doing like that. This is a SKU number. Description is actually that that little gray description you're seeing next to the thing here. You can do the same, write whatever you want in here, and that'll be shown to the user who are trying to fill in this information. Okay, quickly to go through this one. So every attributes in PIM is, whenever changes are done to these attributes on a product, then they are locked in the system. So you not, they're locked. So you will be able to see who have done what changes to these values. So if some values suddenly change on a product, then you can easily go back and see who did this. You can ask them if this was on purpose or a mistake. And you can also roll back saying, no, I want to go back to the old value, that was a mistake, something like that. This is default enabled on all attributes. You can disable it. I've never seen people do that, but you can if you don't want to be locked when people change it. Okay, now the important stuff, the attribute configuration. This is where you can define and design what type of attribute it is, what data type it actually is. I'll try to go through some of them here so you will get an understanding. So text pretty much says itself. So this could be just a line of text, or it could be a big text box where you add in product information and stuff like that. And we will create a few of them, so I'll not go into details what they are, but I'll create a few of them later in the video. Numbers, this is what we will use right now. You can both have decimal numbers and stuff like that. You can define all of this. So please see here that each time I select a new data type, there will be new properties available underneath. So it will be unique to each of the different types. Dates says itself. Media is about images or files, product data sheets, stuff like that. You can define that as soon as you have a media file. As soon as you have a media data type, with different file types that can go into this one. That'll be in a different video where I'll cover that. Complex will also be in a different video, but this is really where Struct PIM blew my mind, because as soon as you have a complex data type, then you can start adding all of these data types you see in here together and define your own kind of data types. And you can have complex data type on top of complex data type. Then you can just create all sorts of data type that fits exactly whatever you need in here. This is clever. That'll be in a different, more advanced video on data type. You'll take that later on. Then you have all you can create a list of values. Show that again in an advanced video. Global lists value. Global list is what keeps Struct PIM running. It's a brilliant idea of creating a lot of lists with predefined values that you can select and easy to maintain afterwards. And then all the different reference. I don't want to go into each specific of them, but it's general. You can make fields where you have this product is linked for whatever reason to a different product or different variant or whatever you have. So this is, if you're looking at this product, we recommend you also buying this product, or a complementary or supplementary product to this could be. So this is where you can link all your products together in that kind of spider web. So a customer it will be easy to find whatever they need to add together in that bundle or what it could be. Okay, and then we go down to this segmentation area. Localized text or localized data in general is about if you want that field to be able to contain information in different languages, you have all the different languages you have in your system. And I tend to put it on almost every field in here, because in the future, even though you just have it on your local language or English or whatever in the beginning, you will end up having it on different languages later on, I'm pretty sure. And if you first have created a data type that is not localized, you cannot go in here just and enable it, and then suddenly that field will be localized. So you have to create it from the beginning or not. it's not a problem if you forget to do it. You can always create a new field and migrate all the data to that new field. That's an easy step. So don't be afraid of selecting it right in the beginning. But anyway, I tend to add it, even though I think this field might not necessarily be localized, but it doesn't harm to do it, because you can always use a fallback language. So you don't have to fill it in on all the languages, just saying the fallback language here should be English. That's it. Okay, segmentation of data. This is again where you can where your imagination is the boundary, because in this demo environment here, you can segment it on something we have created in the dimension area out here that is called viewports. And this just have 3 different values. This is a tablet, a mobile, or a laptop or desktop. So this means that you have this dimension on all your fields saying, I want a text that is specific if you're looking at it from a mobile device or whatever. So you can have these different dimensions, but it doesn't have to be on the device people are accessing your product from. They could be, I want 2 dimensions, for one for B2C and one for B2B, or whatever you have of needs. You can segment or dimension your data in this way. Pretty clever. Okay, that was all the basic stuff. Now we can get going. So I want to create a SKU number in here. That will be a number field. I don't want any decimals. The unit is typically where if you are defining properties on your product, saying length or something like that, you want to add in that this is centimeters, then people can see that, or it inch, or whatever it is. But in this case, you don't necessarily have to fill something in, but for the demo purpose, I will add SKU so you can see what it looks like. Okay, regular expression is just a way to, if you're a programmer, you already know all about this, but it's a way to define how that structure should look. So if you have a text field, or a classical one, if it's an email field, you can add a regular expression saying an email should look like something in the beginning, a @ and then a domain at the end. So you ensure that people are adding it in the correct format. We don't want to use it here. And for the SKU number, since it's a pure number, I don't want to localize it, because this number would be the same in any language. Okay, let's save that one. Now you have the fundamentals about it. So now I just want to create a few more fields we can use for the later videos. So let me create one more with a demo or product name. We'll go in here. Oh, sorry. Yep. Same goes here. And then I want to select a text. This is new stuff that has come into Struct PIM recently with an AI integration. That'll be a separate video as well, because this is a brilliant implementation. I'll show what we can do there. This is pretty clever. But for now, we'll just say this is a text field. Nothing about unit, nothing about multiple row inputs, but it must not contain more than 50 characters. And I want to show the counter. So actually when people enter that product name, they can see how many characters they are long or short about from the 50 that is maximum. I want that to be localized, and the fallback language should be English. Save that one. Want to create one more. Demo product description. Goes here again. There we are. That'll be a text field again. And this time I want to be able to have multiple rows, so this will be a big box where I can add a lot of data. I want it to be, yeah, let's say 300 pixels high. I want to use rich text in there. So this will give them a toolbar where the users can select and manipulate the data so it looks nice. And when it's transferred to, for example, a web page, you can get that dynamic feeling of the text, so it's not just letters. And you can decide in that toolbox what they will have when they have rich text available. So let's say bold, bullet lists. I'll just take a few here. But you can see the list is pretty long, so tons of different things the user can actually do in there. This full screen is also pretty nice. Unit, nothing. Regular expression, nothing. Again, product text, I want that to be localized so I can have it in many different languages in here. Default will be English. Save. That's it for creating attributes. I will connect them to data, or use these attributes to connect to a product model later on in a different video. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you have questions or if you want a demo of Struct PIM, please reach out to me or some of the other Struct PIM partners out there. We would love to help you out. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, throw a like or subscribe at it, or if you don't, no biggie at all. Just have a good one and thank you for watching.